There will be spoilers ahead. Lots of spoilers, so be careful, won't you?
Hi, the hairy hemorrhoids of Hogwarts. It's another episode of Give Me One More Chance. Demons of Denmark. Taste the flames of Fanta. I unleash the rings of rigatoni. Fear the amulet of onomatopoeia. Fetch me my cloak of defenestration. This week's entry, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, has more Doctor Strange Easter eggs than you can Doctor a Strange at. We got spells from the comic book. We got cameos from the comic book. We've got settings from the comic book. We've got comic books from the comic book. Comic book, comic book, comic book, comic book, Steve Ditko, comic book, comic book. Okay, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'll admit, when I first checked out this MCU entry, high were my hopes, among other things. And I also have to admit that when I first saw it, I saw those hopes go limp and soggy, like the pages of the Book of Cagliostro, but not completely destroyed, like the Book of Cagliostro. So this week, we're giving this film another bolt of bedevilment, shot. I am your host, that master mystic of mystic mastery, Max Levine, and over there is my overly familiar, Micubus the Incubus. Ooh. Lay some otherworldly truths on us, Micubus.
Roseanne Flotar.
Ah, such magic.
Size of a million bees? Shape of a bucket of water?
Yeah, you're mixing your shows and your shape changers. But before we get to this magic, we have our poll question.
Magic.
Poll question. Is there a movie franchise where you actually like most or all of the films in it?
No.
Okay. Well, this was a short one. Next week, our question will be, well, not everyone was quite as terse as Micubus over there. Seth Jacobs simply says, Alien. Well, I'll give you the first two.
Yeah. Let's see if he's seen Prometheus and Alien vs. Predator and Alien Romulus and
Alien 4 and no.
No, that's okay. It's his choice, not ours.
That meddling landscape painter / detective Degsy O'Brien, who takes time out from foiling my evil schemes and keeping me from getting my hands on that haunted graveyard.
I wish he had.
Yes, Star Trek. Just the pre-Abrams ones, however. And of the 10 in the original franchise, I could happily rewatch 8 of them even after all these years. Yeah, I think 8 out of 10's reasonable.
Did they really have 10? Wow.
Yeah, yes. Go all the way to Nemesis. Aaron Perez answers, in some strange code, Lotter.
Lotter?
Sure. L-O-T-R. I'm not sure what this
Lord
is
of
supposed to be.
the Rings, Nimrod.
This must be some hip thing the youngsters are doing.
You'll never know.
I will never know. This is immediately followed up by Nick Hoffman saying, he beat me to it. Saying, he also says, I'm intensely fond of the Star Wars franchise, even if the prequels were subpar. Well, that's a polite way to put it. Yes, subpar.
Yeah. That means below par.
Yeah. Yep. What I have come to appreciate more are the gems that still show up. Rogue One is just fantastic. Okay, and we really enjoy The Mandalorian and the Obi-Wan series. The animated series are also fun. That's a lot of franchise. That is true.
Yes.
Also, really love the Avengers series and, frankly, the Star Trek films with 2 exceptions. The Bourne movies were really tight, and specifically the Daniel Craig Bond films. Okay. Jamie Kleinert says Deadpool. Just Deadpool, not the greater MCU. That's fair. I mean, I like the greater MCU as well, but I'm also oversaturated on all things MCU at the moment.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes with RDJ. Ooh, aren't we hip?
It's pronounced Urge. Jeez, you don't know anything.
I guess I don't. Together with Enola Holmes, I know they're not deliberately franchised together, but there's a grit to both presentation that works. And
The Nation's newspaper?
Cavill as Sherlock was an inspired choice of casting. It's actually pretty good that way.
Neat.
Brian Mundo says, I agree the Deadpool movies have been a hit. A lot of the other MCU is getting boring and overdone. All together now? No! But Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty great. Yep, agree there. And I want to add The Wizard of Oz. Wait, what?
Well, there were two films.
There's a lot of movies based on Oz I don't think I've seen. There are? But the original Return to Oz, Oz the Great and Powerful, all right.
I didn't see that.
Wicked and Tin Man. Oh, geez, I forgot Tin Man. That was a Sci-Fi Channel miniseries. I liked all of those. Okay, interesting.
I don't know if that's a franchise, but sure.
He didn't say
Fifth Element.
Yeah, I mean...
and Sixth Element and Seventh Element.
I do believe in spooks, Corbin, my man.
I got no fire.
Dave, ho, ho. Very difficult to keep a story going at a high level of quality. Yeah, true. The original is usually strong because the writers got the characters wound up with situations to resolve, then resolved them. To keep them going and allow the characters to develop becomes a problem in the sequel. The Yojimbo Sanjuro solution, make the sequels completely different movies, worked with Alien and Aliens, but I never saw Alienses. It's a good name for the third one and the fourth. And with action, as the characters stay the same, they stagnate. While each sequel tries to have more action than the last, leading to the Bond phenomenon, where eventually the movies have so little substance and so much action that they are tiresome.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah. The ones that come to mind are the Marx Brothers. Oh, it's interesting. I didn't think of them as a franchise, but they managed to stay funny for a long time. That is true. I even liked Love Happy, but it is weaker than the rest. Also true. And two, the Agatha Christie series, both Marple and Poirot. Always up for a film in those series if it gets good reviews.
That's a toughie because in some ways they're movies, in some ways they're not.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to include Poirot,
yikes.
I mean, I really well, it depends. I like the David Suchet ones. Honestly, I think he did a great job. Not real fond of Kenneth Branagh.
Well, because the mustache is the true star of that movie. Actually, all three of those movies.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay,
Thanks,
but
Dave.
very interesting, very thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Dr. Professor Rebecca Pelkey says Firefly/Serenity, though it was a short-lived franchise. Okay, that's not really a movie franchise because there is all of one movie, but okay, but you can see
going to tell her no? I'm not going to tell her no.
That woman is a doctor.
Yeah, and a professor.
Indeed.
Of doctors.
And she's a doctor of professorology.
Yes.
Do all philosophers' names start with S?
I think they do. It's okay. She doesn't listen to the show either.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Steve Kellner. Excuse me. Dr. Steve Kellner.
Stop it. He's a very nice person, and he never uses that. So.
I know, but technically he is a doctor.
I know he is.
Definitely Lauder, though technically it's what it says.
Lord of the Rings, you Nimrod. I already called you a Nimrod. You bag of stupid things.
We'll let you know. Leave your headshot at the desk. Though technically it is the same problem as calling the books a trilogy. It's one story, not a franchise as such. Yes, especially if you're including The Hobbit.
Well, wasn't it written as a trilogy, though?
Depends who you ask. Yes, it was. I mean, there was a fair amount of time between each book.
Yeah, I think usually spent describing flowers and trees and plants.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's spring. Oh, no. Sorry,
Did I mention there are 45 species of moss here, which I will now list?
Ilexes and foxgloves and sloths and breakfast cereals.
Skip a bit, brother.
Ah, yes. Then the dwarves. Okay, sorry, go on.
I think Deadpool now counts that it's up to 3. Yeah, that's fair. And despite joining the MCU, it is clearly in its own space and time. I have to say that the recent Hercule Poirot movies with Kenneth Branagh, now up to 3, are better than I expected. Really. Though they vary from the novels.
Supposed to question their answers.
Sorry. They vary from the novels. And the last one was particularly atmospheric.
Yes,
Sure.
it had an
Okay.
atmosphere in it and
They're
people could breathe.
Pretty sure yes, there's air. We can breathe here. The original Star Wars trilogy was good, obviously, even with some of the lameness of the third movie and a lack of ending on the second. You count the rest of the franchise, not so much.
Yeah.
As I recall, the Thin Man movies were pretty good, but it's been a while. Yeah, I mean, the Dick Powell and Myrna Loy are wonderful, but the movies get worse and worse.
I'll see our entire episode on the Thin Man.
Mm-hmm. Julie O'Malley says, I know I can speak for Nick when I mentioned the Matrix series. That's funny, he didn't. I know this is a controversial franchise, and very few of you will agree with me, but I found the story concept as well as the SFX visuals absolutely spellbinding. Speaking of Keanu, the John Wick series was a great deal of fun as well. Okay. Yeah, as long as she doesn't say anything about the acting in Matrix, I'm fine.
He's fine in that. I mean,
I didn't say he wasn't. I mean, like most of the acting, it suffers a lot from Lucas syndrome. You can tell you have people like Lawrence Fishburne, who's got this great intensity, and obviously the director said, yeah, Larry, no, tone it way, way down. I want you to do this like you just woke up from an Ambien coma.
Do you think they suffer without their stone?
I think they suffer without their stone.
I will never get tired of that.
Brian Paul McStravick says, Final Destination. No kidding.
Yeah, I had to look that one up. I didn't know that one.
No, I know that one. It's a series of horror movies, and I know it has some very rabid fans.
Yeah.
So, Brian, go get yourself a rabies shot or something.
But it's Final Destination. How can you have more than one? I mean, it's final.
I don't know. How can you have more than one of the final countdown? But we do.
I mean, Final Destination, the finaling? I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, Final Destination, just a little further.
Okay.
Tyler Stewart says, the MCU came so close. There's only one movie in it, Iron Man 2, that I really didn't like. Really? That's the only one? Okay.
It has Whiplash in it.
Yeah. Yes, I think
Oh, my back!
I would have preferred getting Whiplash. There are some that, while not great, I still found entertaining. Okay.
Yeah.
Jessica Miller says Scream and Jurassic Park. I think they'd object if you did that in the movie, but the Scream movies. Yes.
Two separate franchises.
As long as we can stipulate most of the movies. That is what was in the question.
It was.
Adam Mark says Star Trek, Vulcan salute emoji. I don't know how you translate those. The good ones are very good, and the bad ones are so bad they're good. From Star Trek the Motion Picture, 1979, to Star Trek Beyond, 2016, it's one fun romp after another. It's especially fun to watch the special effects improve over the years. Star Trek is also just so generous to its fans. Lovable characters with foibles and fables of international relations, morality, and the dangers of modern-day technology. Inspiring scores and enough self-awareness to allow a little bit of self-deprecation. At its worst, we roll our eyes knowing it will soon improve. At its best, it's Shakespearean. I only wish I had discovered this franchise earlier. I married into it. LLAP.
Live long and prosper.
prosper.
Do I have to spell everything out for you?
BITEME.
Even you don't know what that means.
Matthew Reisman says it's tough because some franchises are so broken up. For example, I like all of the original Star Wars movies. ROTJ Hate is a Gen X... Return of the Jedi, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is a Gen X problem.
Is it?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, even though it was made for us, but okay, go ahead.
But not many of the other editions. I love the Lotter films, but not the Hobbit movies. I like 2/3 of the Nolan Batman movies, but not the majority of the Batman franchise. Yeah.
Gee,
that's
I wonder
fair.
which one he didn't like.
I'd say the Harry...
Why don't you like my film?
What?
Huh?
What? What's he saying?
Hey, Batman, over here.
Is he talking to me?
Is he talking to me? What is he saying?
I thought Tom Hardy was taller.
I'd say the Harry Potter movies are remarkably consistent in terms of quality, given the long period of production, although further additions to the franchise have sucked, and Rowling's vocal vitriol means I'm no longer interested in supporting her work.
Fair. Very, very fair.
Bite us, Joanne.
Let's see our entire episode on the incredible beasts and how to baste them.
Yeah. I think I like most of the Ninja Turtle movies, but that only works because the fun ones outweigh the Michael Bay ones. Yep, that's fair. I miss when a trilogy was the standard, although maybe it never was. Continuous fiction invariably leads to dilution of the original themes that made something touch the zeitgeist. Also pretty accurate, yeah.
Very good point, yeah.
And of course, from the land of the great moose and the flying squirrel, we have the penguin lord himself, Vince, who says, most franchises are a mixed bag and usually get worse and worse. I have to say I have a love for the Muppet movies. I find almost all of them funny and smart. I would argue about Muppets from Space, but I'll give you a lot of the others. Less so with their TV special. Oh dear, yeah. I would love to say James Bond, but while I like the Daniel Craig films pretty well, overall I find the series a bit meh. The Marvel Thor films I have enjoyed quite a bit, but a series that may not be a series, but I wish it was, are the Addams Family movies. Sadly cut short by the death of Raul Julia. Yeah. I think they might have made a few more equally as good. I agree with that, and I gotta say, I was always so pleased that they didn't try to just cast somebody else as Gomez.
Yeah, till later. Was it Guzman? What was his name?
Oh yeah, that was in the Wednesday series, but that was.
Oh, that's right.
That's not the same thing, really.
No.
And our special super secret fudgy goodness covered voicemail had two entries this week.
Two?
Yes, one from a mysterious woman who we've heard from before.
Who?
Miss Flame. Ooh.
Flame McDowd?
Flame McDowd.
She makes me feel funny in my area.
Yes.
Which, if you know what's going on, is a very weird thing to say.
That is a very confusing on many levels, and I think we're just going to go over it. But here, listen.
Hi there, Flame McDowd again. Seeing as you liked my last answer, I thought I'd give you another one. The question this week is there a movie franchise where you actually like most of all of the films in it? The answer? I liked Naked Gun. I know, there are problems with it, most especially one of the actors portraying somebody in there, but he does get his own in it, so it's okay. I also liked Lethal Weapon. Again, another one with a problematic actor, but they were funny. So, also, last but not least, I will always have a soft spot for the Kaiju franchise, be it Godzilla, Mothra, or any of Gamera. Put Gamera in there, he's one of my favorites. There's something about flames that attracts me. Anyway, those are the answers for this week. I do hope you continue doing Max Mike movies for a long, long time. I like it. Goodbye.
And we have another one that's... We think this is from Vince, although he never identifies, at least I don't think he identifies himself, because he's speaking this weird language that no one could possibly understand. I think it
French.
Might be Croatian. It might be
it's
Klingon.
French.
I'm
you
not sure.
moron.
No, that's not it. I don't know what it is, but
just play the message.
Maybe if we have some cryptographers out there, you can run this through like one of the NSA computers and
play the message.
Try it. Yes.
Bonjour, hi, Max, Mike et Movies. C'est Vincent Louis, ton ami de Nord. En bref, j'ai rien à dire, mais mon directeur de produits glacial, François, veut faire une plainte contre le balado. Il a besoin de l'aide avec le téléphone parce qu'il est manque de pouces opposables. François, t'es prêt? D'accord. Voici François. OK, alors, ça suffit. Désolé, mais il est vraiment en colère. À la prochaine. Bye.
Yep,
You'll never know
French.
what he actually said.
It's French.
He
lives in Canada. That's what they speak there.
Nope. They speak Penguinese. We know that.
Well, that was only at the end when he whack, whack, whack. Hey, thank you, Flame, for calling us in. And
thank you, Eternal Flame.
Keep calling. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm setting up a collection.
Of Flame?
But Mike, what's a franchise that you like most or all of the movies in?
Scooby-Doo!
You don't watch any of the Scooby-Doo movies.
I saw the first two, but then they made that horrible mistake and brought in Scrappy Doo, and that pretty much put a
Yeah, yes.
this was a toughie.
Yes.
This is why I mean, if you want to leave Lord of the Rings on its own and not include The Hobbit, which you should, then I would vote for Lord of the Rings because I liked all three, even though there were things that they changed that I didn't care for and things they left out that I understand why they left out. Tom Bombadil. I think that they did a remarkable job making something that none of us thought they could actually make. And all three, I think, are worth watching, especially the extended editions. And heck, one of them actually won an Oscar for Best Picture, and it's a fantasy genre film. That never happens.
That's very rare.
But, I will watch nearly any Bond film over and over again, but it's more of one of those comforts because you watched them when you were a kid. A lot of them, let's see how to put this, aren't good.
Stacy, look out! A blimp!
Say our entire episode on View to a Kill. Actually, no, that was one of our big 100 episodes where we talked about all of them, and it was regretful.
Yes, it was a bit
But
much.
even then, honestly, it was worth watching just for Christopher Walken in that broom wig. He was that inexplicable headpiece. So if I want to be strict to the question, I would have to say Lord of the Rings is actually Deadpool. I will also vote for Deadpool. I enjoyed all three of those films, and man, even if they don't do another one, they went out with a bang. I honestly think 3 is better than 2, and I might even argue it's better than 1.
I don't know. I thought 1 was it was so distinctive, and it was something new. But 3, I think, is very well done. It's so much fun. I would agree that that's a really good franchise. For me, it's pretty much either the Avengers movies by themselves, not the whole franchise. Most of them are very good. Age of Ultron is kind of
Not my favorite.
And again, Bond, yes, there are some stinkers, but there have been like 40 of these.
Yeah. And it's over a period at this point of, 50 years?
I think it's more, but
62, I think, is the first one.
Yeah. So it's been like 60 years.
Which is a lot.
That's pretty impressive that they still have some that are fun. I mean, yes, I don't think we'll ever remember the George Lazenby weeks.
Who?
Yeah. And, there have been some duds, but
I think he was in Indy Jones 4.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Speaking of forgettable. Yeah. So that's your answer, is you're going to go with...
I'm going to go with Bond and the Avengers.
Okay.
Yep. But these were great answers, and we want more of them.
Yes.
So, partly inspired a little bit by this week's movie, what is your favorite cinematic depiction of magic and spells, where the magic system and the way the spells work just seem cool? And we'll tell you how to answer that at the end of the episode.
I'm going to go with Muppets Take Manhattan. Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS? There's a lot of movie magic there.
Oh, God.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Zangief's ass? Bumpy the Wonder Pony? Bumpy Puck cereal?
I'm going to hurt you very badly very soon.
But first, what are you going to do?
But first, stuff about the movie. The facts. Budget.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. This was $415 million.
Oh!
This was, to that point, the most expensive MCU movie. Even Avengers Endgame was $400 million.
Oh.
How much did it make? $955 million.
What? It was successful? Oh,
no.
I'm giving it away.
It
sure
wasn't
was.
successful.
You have to do 3. That's
3.
Right.
No. The article I read said it would have had to make about $1.2 billion to really be successful. How sad is it that the movie made almost $1 billion and it's not considered financially successful?
Oh, we had that problem last week.
Yeah. This movie was originally meant to be shown to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home. Before COVID-19 forced the schedules to be altered, and the movie came out after.
Okay.
This movie is directed by Spider-Man's old friend, Sam Raimi, guy who did the first 3 Spider-Man movies.
And Evil Dead.
Lots of
Dark
them.
Man.
He has observed that due to the chaotic production process, he and the screenwriters essentially figured out the movie during filming, with the ending being conceptualized about halfway through the shoot. Explains a little.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Benedict Cumberbatch revealed that Benedict Wong, who plays Wong, yes, there are two Benedicts in this. Pickle Stick Slapty Batch says in an interview that Benedict Wong broke about 4 ribs when slammed into something during a stunt.
Oh, dear.
So he's doing that movie with 4 busted ribs. That's pretty impressive.
Cripes.
Most of the Illuminati Council scene was filmed separately with the different actors, as they were never really together.
Oh. Okay.
Sam did not initially want to direct any future superheroes after he kind of lost faith in himself due to the issues about Spider-Man 3 in 2007.
Oh, dear.
Which it was mostly due to studio interference from Sony. However, he got the call from his agent about the film, and his agent encouraged him to do it, and he really liked the first Doctor Strange film as well as the character, and he wanted to see if he could live up to the challenge of meeting the audience's expectations once again.
So did we.
Yep. Raimi also referenced there were 2 references to Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 2, the one with Dr. Octopus. Joe's Pizza, where Peter Parker's working at the beginning, and the billboard showing Mary Jane, are located on Bleecker Street, which is where the Sanctum Sanctorum is. And the name Doctor Strange is suggested to J. Jonah Jameson as a possible name for Dr. Octavius, to which Jameson replies, "But it's taken!"
Mary Jane. You can't say that if you're talking about your pants.
You want some Mary Jane, Hepcat? Benedict Cumberbatch actually grew out the Doctor Strange's goatee for real in this film, rather than just using a fake one as he had in all of his previous appearances.
I see.
The one-eyed tentacle monster in the film, which sounds a lot dirtier now that I say it. Yes, tentacle hentai.
Oh, a trouser snake. Okay.
This is actually a thing from the Marvel Comics universe called Shuma Gorath, who was named from a phrase in the Robert E. Howard series The Curse of the Golden Skull. Due to rights issues between Marvel and Howard's estate, the film has the monster renamed Gargantos, after a sea monster in the Marvel Comics. Back in the days when the writers had to do those monster comics and were just coming up with the most dumbass monster names they could come up with.
Zamnor with 3 R's.
Goom! My favorite was Goom.
Goom. You're a goom.
Yeah. Early drafts also expanded the relationship between Wong and Sarah into something of a love story, but that was cut along the way. That was touching. You remember Sarah? She was a very memorable character.
Sarah? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
no, I don't. Sarah.
She's the mage who sort of, pats Wong on the cheek and then burns up.
Oh, yeah. Pity.
Yeah.
Real sad.
The action that explodes on the streets of New York was filmed on a soundstage in England because Sam Raimi and the others couldn't go to the actual New York City due to the pandemic.
On the left, dickweed!
Marvel paid for the construction of nearly 4 city blocks.
Okay.
First time when Mordo is identified by his first name, Carl Mordo.
His first name's Baron.
Strange immediately makes fun of the name Carl. Carl! No doubt he would have had even more to say if he found out the character's full name is Carl Amadeus Mordo.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The character America Chavez was supposed to appear in Spider-Man No Way Home, back when Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to come out before. After a huge reschedule, they changed it and she showed up in this movie instead. Elizabeth Olsen gave her all in every scene, and at one point Sam Raimi told her he was afraid to ask for another take because of it.
Oh.
She replied that when it comes to acting, she is a bottomless well of emotion. She was ready to go again. So they did. A character I kind of wish we had seen, but what ended up on the cutting room floor was Melvin Strange.
What?
A version of Strange who is a non-powered street magician.
Oh. Melvin.
Melvin.
Okay.
In the comics, Marvel Comics, Earth 616 is the designation for the mainstream Marvel universe. I didn't know this next part. I know it was Earth 616. It always seemed very random. I mean, it kind of is. This term first showed up in a comic called The Daredevils in July of '83, which was published by Marvel UK, and the origin is kind of up to debate. The issue was written by Alan Moore.
Who?
And Alan Moore and his son-in-law,
watches The
John
Watchmen?
Repion, said he chose that number at random because people always seem to be talking about Earth 2 or Earth 4, but there are never any higher numbers. However, the issue's artist, Alan Davis, said the number was chosen by previous Captain Britain writer David Thorpe, I'll let you sort through that, as a reference to the number of the Beast, because he wasn't a fan of the modern superhero genre. Most versions of the Book of Revelations identify the number of the Beast as 666, but in some ancient Greek translations it's written as 616.
See, last issue, Smiling Ed.
This film got banned in Saudi Arabia due to America Chavez's parents being a lesbian couple. Oh, my pearls.
Clutch.
Yeah. Along with the statues and relief work featuring Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch, film sculptor Jonathan Moore revealed that next to the Scarlet Witch piece at Wundagore Mountain were prophecy carvings of Wiccan, the demiurge, that were modeled after Julian Hillard as Billy Maximoff.
Of course.
Yes. Apparently there were talks about having Namor in the film as a
Why?
member of the Illuminati because he was a founding member of the group in the comic, but it was dropped because they had other plans for him, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that.
So did everyone.
Yeah, well, he had those little wings on his feet.
The sorcerer who screws the pooch with his cowardice while under attack by Wanda in the script is referred to simply as Weasel Sorcerer, which was a source of confusion for some people because they thought it might actually be a giant weasel in robes.
Well, so if I were a sorcerer aiming to become Sorcerer Supreme one day, might change my name.
Yeah. There's a ton of other trivia, most of which is like, this is from the comic book, this is from the comic book.
This isn't from the comic book. This isn't from the comic book.
But I think I need to save my energy for the plot.
I do know one little thing. There is one character that I actually remember really liking from the comic that is just there. They don't say anything about him except that he's this green minotaur.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like,
Rintrah.
That's Rintrah. Yeah, I remember really liking Rintrah. I forget
He
where
was
he
cool.
came from, but
I actually
he was sort of
have
like
him
Doctor
mentioned later.
Strange's boy
He was his
wonder for a
apprentice.
while.
Yeah, he was cool.
And he's a moo cow. I liked him.
Yeah, he was a big minotaur, and apparently he had a huge thing for old movies, so he kept quoting like Bogart and.
But now I'm dying to hear you make this plot cohesive. Sensible?
Okay, hang on.
Understandable.
I gotta do some stretches. Okay. Our story dumps us right into the action as we find Doctor Strange sporting a mystic ponytail, more gray hair, and a much cooler outfit, racing through a Jim Steranko setting with Ms. America herself, America Chavez. They're being chased by a terrifyingly nameless CG effect as they try to reach a magic MacGuffin that will somehow help when, oh no, Dr. Ponytail is killed. But America Chavez manages to escape by punching a star-shaped hole in reality and leaping to another universe. The universe inhabited by our own mustard of the muskrat arts, Stephen, this time the goatee is real, Strange, who is at the wedding of his ex-flame Christine. But no time for embarrassing wedding speeches, praise Ditko. There's an enormous eyeball monster trashing Midtown, chasing a teenager in an admittedly cool jean jacket. Doc is having some trouble dealing with this magical kaiju, but it's Wongan time! Here's the actual current Sorcerer Supreme. Wonger's taken time out from watching The Sopranos with Madison to pitch in. See She-Hulk, if you wonder what that references to. They defeat the monster in a rather disgusting way, honestly, and figure out that something or someone is pursuing America. Doc Strange decides to talk to the foremost expert in witchcraft that he knows. Not Agatha Harkness, not any of the Salem Seven, but Wanda Maximoff, fresh out of her series WandaVision. But, Kokomo! Turns out Wanda is the one who's after America in her new identity as the Scarlet Witch. Dun, dun, dun! That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Trust me?
Because it is.
It is. It's a thing. Wanda's motivation is actually rather touching. Due to events you only know about if you saw WandaVision or read about 600 episodes of The Avengers, she has lost her 2 sons, Billy and Tommy, who only sort of existed in this universe but actually exist in others.
Do they?
Okay, sure. Worse, Wanda is under the influence of the Darkhold, the most sinister, powerful, and dangerous book since Twilight Breaking Dawn. She wants America's universe-traveling powers for herself, and she'll do anything to get them. The wizards try to protect Ms. America at Camartage, the Mystic Fortress, but Voldemort, the Scarlet Witch, busts in, kills a lot of people, and Strange and America have to jump away to another universe to escape. From there, they go universe hopping, hoping to find another universe as Doctor Strange, or is it they go hoping to hop another universe as Doctor Strange to help them?
Oh, my.
Because Doctor Strange only trusts Doctor Strange. They travel through the land of additional Easter eggs, slap Bruce Campbell around, and finally end up before the Council of Ultimate Fan Service, the Illuminati, of some universe or other. Seems like Doctor Strange tends to be a bit problematic no matter what universe he's in. But before they can render more exposition, Wanda shows up and, basically kills everyone except Strange, America, and the Illuminati universe's Christine, for some reason, who all head off to another universe trying to get the Book of MacGuffin, the Book of the Vishanti, which gets trashed pretty quickly, leaving America captured and Strange fighting another version of himself before going all necromancer and going up against Wanda. But finally, America learns to believe in herself or something, and Wanda is finally defeated by that which she most sought, the power of motherhood. Confused? You won't be after this episode of Soap. Max Mike Movies.
Blah, 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 Grandpa.
The film.
Wow. Congratulations.
I'm getting lightheaded.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I saw the movie too. I'm going to rely on you because the home offices of Max Mike Movies were struck 3 times in one day.
Yes,
and we've
by
not
the
fully
flames of the Faltine.
No, it's thunderstorms, but that's okay. And we're not exactly back up to snuff yet. So when it comes to talking about the cast, I would like you to tell me who they are so that we can talk about them because I can't see them.
Well, of course, we have to start off with Pickle Stick Grumderbatch. Sorry,
I know
Engelbert
I'm childish,
Humperdinck,
but his name makes me laugh. I don't know why. His accent, where's he from?
Old York? I'm not sure.
It is a very interesting... So here's the thing. The Brits, very rightfully so, often complain that Americans do lousy British accents. Most of us do.
Fair. Mm-hmm.
However, most British takes on American accents are, shall we say, interesting.
Yeah, very few of them can do it well. Florence Pugh is uncanny at canceling out her English accent, as is Margot Robbie.
There's somebody else that I know who does... he's got an Irish accent, and he does it pretty good. And he's from Ireland, and he does a pretty good American accent. But the problem I have with Benedict's accent is I can't tell where he's from. He's not from the Midwest, although his accent is fairly flat. He's not from the East Coast, and he's not from the West Coast. So he's just sort of...
I think he's from Americaville. I'm not sure.
I guess. It's just... I didn't notice it in the first film. I know you had an issue with it in the first film. Yeah. But in this one, I'm just like, where is that? Like, he didn't study a specific accent. He just went, I want to sound like I'm from America. It's like, okay. Otherwise, I think he's throwing himself into this. I don't think it's a... Well, we'll get to that. Yeah. I don't think it's the best part he's ever played. No. But I think he's giving it what he can. Which is considerable.
I got to say, when his shirt's off, Benny's been hitting the gym.
He's had his hand in the hormone jar.
He's surprisingly ripped in this movie.
I'm surprised that they only show him from like the mid torso up once. It's like he spent money on this, so you should. But he's fine. I mean, I like Benny. He's good. He probably hates being called Benny. I don't know, but
probably.
This is the same man who says penguin, but there you go.
And we got Elizabeth Olsen back as the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff.
Sure.
She's terrific. I mean, she isn't in this very much, and I don't think any of her scenes last for more than a minute and a half.
Well, she's got a couple of key scenes when we're supposed to care about. Here's the big issue I will go right up front and say. If you didn't watch WandaVision, or, like us, if you had utterly forgotten that WandaVision existed and what happened to it, you have little to no reason to give a crap about her.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. If you don't know the story, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's sort of like, oh, we should just accept that we should feel bad for her. Which I'll get to that later. But,
well, never mind the powers, which we will also get to later.
Yeah.
I think when is she an Olsen twin? Is she one of those?
Well, she's not one of the twins, but she's their older sister.
Okay.
She is one of the Olsen empire
so
franchise.
Like the Olsen brothers and the Olsen sister.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's fine, I guess. This is going to be a hard film to judge the acting in because of other elements of the film, namely things like the script.
Yeah.
Sure, she's fine.
Yeah.
And
then we have, of course, Benedict Wong as Wong.
Not nearly enough of him. I love Wong.
He's a great character. The version they do of him in this is so much better. This is one of those characters that works better in the movies than he does in the comic book.
Yeah, I love the fact that he keeps trying to get Strange to bow to him. He's like, it's a tradition. He's like, he doesn't really care, but it's kind of like, just
he knows
give me a sandwich.
He knows it bugs him, so that's why I assume why he keeps doing it. Because it really gets under Strange's skin that he's not Sorcerer Supreme.
But we talked about this in the last couple of shows. He's a character I'd like to know more about or see more about. I think as an actor in this, he does a good job, and he's fun. I like him.
And we got Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez.
What a thankless part.
Seriously. Like, hello, I'm standard angsty teen, which I have to convey in about, what does she have, like 20 lines maybe?
I guess, and then, we'll get to this too, but she doesn't have, even though she's in the film and she's the living MacGuffin, she doesn't have a lot to do as an actual character. There is one scene, one very clunky, gratuitous scene where we find some backstory about her, and she's fine, but I don't think I can actually judge her in this film because I think that the way she was written was so unrevealing that she didn't have much she could do with it. So
she is a very underwritten character, which is a real shame because America Chavez is a really fun character, is a really interesting one. If you ever saw her in Young Avengers or any of the others, she is this just utter badass who takes no crap, is incredibly short fuse, and the reason she can travel from dimension to dimension is she can punch so hard she can punch the walls of reality down. That's part of it.
She can punch so hard.
Well, that's the idea. She can punch
the walls of reality down. Wow. Okay,
something
Archie
like
Goodwin
that.
was on some good stuff that day.
But I like her, but the character does nothing to do. Again, you're right. It's an absolutely thankless part. Then we have my man Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo.
He's there for 3 seconds,
and he's great for those 3 seconds. Otherwise, complete waste. I mean, I'm sorry. He was actually really good in the first Doctor Strange. He needs to get better jobs. I'm sorry. He is so good. And we got Rachel McAdams as Christine Palmer, who is the big love of Strange's life in these movies, not in the comic books.
Because they tell us so.
Yes. Yes, you can see the smoldering chemistry. I don't buy it. I didn't buy
the smoldering averageness of their relationship.
Smoldering averageness. I consider you adequate for mating. Yes.
Oh, you're so suitable.
I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I just don't.
I don't either.
They don't have chemistry.
No.
She is a fine actor. I think she's really good, but it doesn't work. And I don't know whose fault it is, if it's a script, if it's the two of them. I don't buy it.
Yeah, and it might actually be fair at this point to just say, let's just give the cast a pass. I don't.
Yeah.
This is not a movie to judge them on.
No,
Even Charles Xavier shows up, and it's Patrick Stewart, and even him you can't judge because he has so little to do.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
Yeah.
That was such a throwaway fan service moment.
Well,
If we're
now wait.
talking- Yeah.
Are we moving off the cast then?
Yeah, let's move off the
Okay.
cast. There's a lot of people in here, but
Yeah,
most
and
of
they
them
do
show
things.
up for 2 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, I will say this: hate the kids, hate them, hate them, hate them. They feel like
Billy
such
and
fake
Tommy.
kids. Oh
Yeah.
my gods, mommy, love us, mommy, love us. Look what we're doing, mommy. Everything we do is interesting. Can we have ice cream? We're going to make up a song about ice cream the way that no kids do this age. No, hate the kids. Anyway, so yeah, the gratuitous Illuminati future fudgy fort thing, which introduced characters that the fans want to see, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Like fan
get-
favorite Black Bolt.
yeah, and which of course they use his new name, which is Blackagar Boltagon.
Seriously.
That is seriously the name they use, and
Blackamus
that is
Bolticus.
pretty much because they thought Black Bolt was silly.
Okay.
There is one line in there I do like when we meet Reed Richards. You know,
Sure.
one of the most significant, and this is John Krasinski. Shazam is here as Reed Richards. And I love Strange's response. He's go, the Fantastic Four, didn't you chart in the 60s? And the answer is yes, they did. In 1967, there was a group called the Fantastic Four that had a number 6 R&B hit called The Whole World is a Stage. I looked that up.
Oh, see, I thought he was talking about the fact that that's when they were last popular. As a comic, which is pretty factually accurate, but sure. Yeah, that scene, the Illuminati scene, that's one of my notes. It's like, what a gratuitous, clunky scene this is. This is only here for fan service. It does nothing for the plot of the film except slow us down so we can have another big fight with people we don't know or care about.
Yeah, pretty much. And the idea is cool. The Illuminati were a really interesting idea. In the comic book, they were like, okay, we're the smartest, most powerful members of the Marvel Universe. We're going to sit down and try to solve the big cosmic level problems that Earth is facing that other people don't need to know about.
I got to say,
Whereas here, it's just, hi, we sit here.
Well, and let's face it, they suck. They were like, oh, we can take care of little witch. No! Not only can you not take care of Scarlet Witch or whoever she's pretending to be, you guys don't last around with her. Like,
Seriously.
it's nothing. Slam, 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 dead. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
these
we'll
are-
escape through this tunnel. That'll confound her.
Yeah, I gotta say, the power of the Scarlet Witch kind of goes up and down depending on what the script requires.
All right, let's do this. The powers.
All right. Yeah.
So magic can do anything until it can't.
Yes. Yes, and she, of course, is a master of chaos magic,
Huh?
which can do stuff, except
and-
otherwise, I don't know.
All of these powers are undefined, so therefore they have no meaning. There's no conflict because nothing makes any sense.
Yeah.
But maybe
Some-
that changed on this viewing. Excuse me, I have something in my throat. I think it's humor.
Harumph. Now, I like some of the universe traveling. There are a bunch of cute little Easter eggs. They go past some stuff, you know, when they're just leaping through and they go through like 5 universes in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
One of which they're all paint. One of which
Sure.
they're animated. One of which, oh look, there's the Living Tribunal, one of the most significant cosmic entities in the MCU.
I didn't even see it. Oh my God.
He's there for 2 seconds, and it's just, again, that's for you guys. That's for you, nerd boy.
Well, let's be fair. The film looks awesome. That first fight in New York with the giant eyeball creature, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a Ditko thing right here. This is right out of the earliest and probably most loved Doctor Strange comics. This is...
Yeah.
It's like, and it's an exciting fight. We don't know who he's fighting because we know nothing about her. But there's Wong and Doctor Strange working together. They basically employ the Three Stooges plan and they dunt the monster right in the eyeball.
Hey, Mo!
But it's at the end, and that was fun. I actually was excited after that scene, even watching it this time, because it's like, this feels like Doctor Strange. This really feels like the comic I used to read brought to life. And I thought that was very cool. And later on, the different multiverse thingies and the dreaming and the transmorphing and stuff, in a way, I thought this is what the movie Inception should have looked like.
Ah.
Just like Doctor Strange 1, it's like, oh, this is what dreams feel like, not like in Inception. Although there are parts of Inception that I like. And in this film, they knock it up a few notches, and there's weird-ass crap all over the place, and it's very Doctor Strange. You mentioned Jim Steranko, not generally known for doing Doctor Strange, but his weird pop
cosmic stuff, yeah.
Yeah, him and Ditko, like, this feels like Doctor Strange.
It does. A lot of the visuals are really cool. The fight between Strange and the guy who is apparently referred to as Sinister Strange, where they're using musical notes.
They're literally throwing the film score at each other.
I liked it. It was like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Which, do we really want that in the middle of a series?
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was goofy. It's like, I want to take the notes out of the music I can't hear because this is a film you're watching and throw them at you. Okay, sure, whatever. And then, of course, the whole premise. Okay, I didn't realize that her power was she can punch her way through reality. But we have this character who's got this power. Now, Wanda, whom we don't remember from a series we didn't watch, is all upset because she lost the kids that she... Wait a minute. They say at the very beginning that she can rewrite reality. Why doesn't she just make them again?
I don't know.
I see. Well, I scratched my head and thought same thing, so...
Yeah.
And then, of course, we need an instant villain, and so Scarlet Witch equals instant villain, TM.
Sure.
So now she's bad, and Doctor Strange goes to find her in this little community that she's living in picking fruit, and for some reason buys that story right from the start until he's like, caught you. You said a name you're not supposed to know. Oh, damn. Well, here goes reality. Poof.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
The Marvel Universe was ostensibly all about the Infinity Gauntlet, the war with Thanos. That was their big overarching story, which I think they did generally very well. And as a nerd boy, I was like, if there's one character they're never going to use is Thanos, because, oh my God, they are.
Yep.
And it was fun. Do you think this film might have been better if it had been a big arc and not shoved into 2 hours and 2 minutes?
Yes. Because Thanos, they built up over, a dozen movies, even though we didn't see him much. Yeah. They built up the sense of menace. They built up, we were nervous about him. Yeah. And it plugged into something that every Marvel reader knew. Everyone knew Thanos who read the comic books.
Yeah.
But this, it's like, okay, Scarlet Witch is a good guy. We've seen her in Age of Ultron, we saw her in Civil War, and she's, sometimes she picks a different side, but she's a basically decent, good person. No, okay, now she's maybe not. And the idea is she's supposed to be a tragic villain because she wants her children back.
Which were fake anyway.
Yeah, she wants, because the memories are real to her. As she puts it, I have the same dream every night, and I wake up to the same nightmare every morning. Which I thought was a really good line. That's very touching.
If only it made sense.
Yeah, well.
But I just I was just thinking that they're trying to do in one movie that the MCU did in 10.
Yeah,
and
they're really trying to make us care too fast.
Well, about anything. We don't know any of these people. That big fight at the Comertage, it's like, oh no, Weasel Mage went down.
Yeah.
Ooh, sadness. And Rintrah, who you would literally have no idea who he was or what his significance was, except why is there a green cow here? No, we know nothing. All these it's very sad the mages die. What's their names? I don't know. Yeah. Why do they have a cannon? Why do they have
got magic cannons? Yes, because magic.
But if they had used this as the theme, it would have been actually a really neat way to divert the Marvel Universe away from Thanos and that whole cosmic thing. They could have just totally made... I don't know. It didn't occur to me the first time I saw this, but I was like, they should have stretched this out. I usually don't say this. Usually I want a bad idea compressed. But I think this could have been developed into something interesting. They just never gave us a reason to care. Oops.
I think so. I mean... You shouldn't have to go into a movie thinking, well, I have to have watched this 6-episode miniseries before I'm going to understand this.
Yeah.
So better get that subscription to Disney Plus.
And you did the trivia for this week. I don't know whose fault it might have been. I don't think the directing was necessarily bad. I honestly laying this really right at whoever approved the final script. Notice I did not say the script writer because this has, what is that smell? I think it's upper management.
Oh, there was a lot of studio interference, apparently.
Yeah, and it's just, well, we don't know how we feel about it because we haven't got to that part, although we're getting there quickly.
Right. And, of course, I do like, there are a lot of Sam Raimi touches in this, which I do like. There are
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, Pizza Papa.
I will watch him in anything.
The chin that walks like a man.
I mean, he's goofy as heck. Although he is the end credit scene. He actually tells the audience the film's over.
It's over.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fan service in this.
Tons.
It's over. The Darkhold is over at Wundagore Mountain. Hey, Wundagore Mountain, that's where the High Evolutionary was and all this other stuff, and these guys came from. You get it?
Well,
you
and they
like
say,
that?
Wong actually says no one has survived the journey to Wundagore. What's going to stop her? Snow?
Yeah.
It's cold. I can't go there.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cold. I can't go there. Really?
Well,
okay.
There are the giant stone monsters that happen to like her.
Sure. And the thing is, we care at least about as much as them as we care about the mages who died in that big fight, because all they do is go grr and then bow to her, and she's like, oh, I like them. I'll keep them. And then they get thrown off a cliff because, Wong, who I like better. I think Wong's awesome. More Wong.
Wongers is terrific.
Wongers. I don't know. We have fast approached that time,
wow.
Max. I know it's that we should we should do the thing where I go
the finish.
So Max.
Yeah.
Did you see Doctor Strange in the Mountains of Mouths of the multi madnesses things? Did you see it in the theater?
The metal munching moon mice? Yes, I did.
I seem to be on fire.
I saw it the week it came out.
That's a double deeper. Yeah. And what did you think then?
I thought it was pretty bad. I didn't like it. I thought it was all over the place. I thought it looked cool. Seeing it on the big screen is very nice. But I thought it was all over the place. I thought it was fragmented. I was disappointed because I liked the first one. I thought it set up some really cool stuff. Yeah. I thought, oh, wow, the way they do the magic. I like the effects. I like them. Yeah, I didn't even care that the ancient one wasn't Tibetan. Yeah, a little awkward there.
I mean,
it's the mouse pandering to China.
Yeah, which I don't. Yeah, well, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Because we don't agree with it either.
No, but I mean, I liked Chiwetel Ejiofor as Baron Mordo in that. I thought that first one. I didn't think it was spectacular, but I thought it represented what could be a really cool sub-franchise. And I was really disappointed.
Which is really how the comic worked. Doctor Strange was not an A-level top-tier Marvel character until he needed to be. We need him in the Avengers story, we'll bring him in. But he was off on his own most of the time, and his villains and stuff tended not to leak in. I don't know if that's still true, and that was kind of cool about Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you had the guys who were like, okay, we deal with terrestrial threats, and here are the guys who deal with cosmic threats or outer space, and he was like, I'm dealing with the magic stuff way over here that you guys don't even know is happening.
And here's the hero who deals with Paste Pot Pete.
Yeah.
I'm the trapster, damn it!
Oh, no, look, I got the clipping right here. Paste Pot. Where'd you get that?
Now, as we like to do in this series, we've given this film another chance.
Yes.
Did it deserve it?
Wait. Did you see it when it came out?
Yes. No.
What did you?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
What'd you think? At
the time?
Yeah.
Disappointed because I didn't think it made any sense. I really liked the first one. My partner loves the first one. It's one of his favorite Marvel films. He just really liked it. I mean, Tilda Swinton's a lot of fun too. She is. I honestly think she probably put 20% into it because she's that good. That's all she needed to.
Yeah.
Not saying that she slummed her way through it, but I just honestly get the feeling that for her, this was like, I just need a little money. Can I give you 10 minutes? That'll be good. Cool, no problem. And her 10 minutes are better than most people's 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I was like, you're not going to do magic. You're not going to. Oh my God, you did magic, and it looked like the comic.
Yeah.
So the first one I liked very much. I had high hopes, but they were dashed on the rocks of indecision and anyway. But what this time though, Max, we
Yeah.
give these films another chance.
We
so
do.
we watch them again with a more critical or less critical eye, maybe, and we try to let them breathe on their own and give us their own. What did you think?
I liked it a little better. I still don't think it's very good.
Why?
Yeah, because I wasn't expecting anything. I was expecting I was going to hate it. Some of it, again, I like the visuals. I like Benedict's performance. I like a couple of the other performances, the little bits that we get. I like some of the ideas. But again, they're trying to shove an awful lot into this. Not to mention the fact I don't like the concept of the multiverse in general. I don't like it in the comics. I don't like it in the movies. Mainly because it takes away any tension. It's like, oh, this character died? That's okay. We'll just yoink them over from this other parallel dimension.
Yeah.
There's an infinite number of every character, except apparently America Chavez.
Well, and to be fair, they do this in Marvel Comics and have been doing it for a long time. DC
So
Comics
do,
too.
they all do it,
Yeah.
yes, and I think it's cheesy.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I like the visual concept of it. I like the idea of going from one universe to like, oh, this one's all populated by bees. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was-
Nick Cage's nightmare.
Not the bees.
Not the bees. I liked it a little better. I still don't think it's good.
No.
Some of it's enjoyable. It moves along fairly well.
It drags in the middle. Once they get to that Illuminati scene, if you have no idea who those people are, you're just like, I'm in a courtroom. Why am I here? Who are these people? Why should I care? That guy can't talk. Why? Oh, I see. Because when he says dumb things, people explode. Okay.
Yeah, I was also like, wow, you really powered down Black Bolt. It's like, oh wow, if he speaks, someone dies. No, if he speaks, cities fall apart.
Well, never mind the fact that dumbass Mr. Reed Richards there says, well, you got no chance. If he says a single word, you're, oh, I shouldn't have told you what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Because he has a mouth and he must scream. Unfortunately, he blows the back of his own head off for reasons.
Yeah. Don't know how that works.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stuff and reasons.
Oh, right. They're cops.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing is in the mid-credits, when we get Clea shows up.
That's who that was.
That Charlize Theron shows up as Clea, and I was like, you friggin' nailed the casting. She's perfect.
She, of course, is the one who Doctor Strange is actually big on in the comics.
She is his main love interest, and she's way cooler. Because she is another sorcerer. In fact, she becomes a sorcerer supreme of her own dimension. And I was like, oh, wow, this could be a really good sequel. Hello?
Chirp, chirp.
Sequel?
Tweet, tweet, chirp.
Yeah, she gets 2 lines and that's it. All right, but she got the look right.
Come with me to the sequel if you want to live.
Come with me to the room of questions.
That's probably what we're going to get.
What about you? What did you think of this the second time around?
No.
Okay. No improvement?
It's a whole bunch. It's a whole lump of I don't care. It's like a really big gooey candy bar that doesn't taste very good. It's like you're looking forward to it. You're probably going to overindulge, and in the end, you're like, I'm not happy I ate that. I don't hate it. There's just nothing to care about. It's literally it's a C-. It's not bad enough to fail, but it's not a grade you're going to go and tell anybody about. It's just
It's really the main thing that bothers me is Wanda's storyline. It's the idea we're supposed to care about this, and even if you've seen it, quite honestly, if you see WandaVision, there's a real problem with it. He's like, I know what it is to be a mother. No, you don't. In WandaVision, she gets pregnant in one of her sitcom episodes. She is pregnant for 15 minutes. She delivers her children on the living room floor, and they're toddlers, then they're like 10 years old. She's a mother for 5 minutes. She didn't have to change diapers. She never had to deal with them being sick. She doesn't know what it is to be a mother. She's just in love with the fantasy of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that's really cheesy.
If you didn't watch that series, you don't know anything
and
about her.
And you wouldn't know any of this either, yes.
And
Like,
even when
oh,
they
no.
tell you some stuff, it's like,
Yeah, when they try to explain it, it's like, wait, what? So you
Yeah.
had these imaginary children, and you're willing to murder people to get to these children who didn't exist. Okay, you need help.
Yeah, and never mind that we're looking at this MacGuffin the entire film, and it literally takes somebody with a match and it's dead. It's like, oh, that's too bad.
Oh, no,
Huh?
Yeah,
We've been looking for that thing the whole film. That's what happens, and there's only one of them. There's 50 billion Darkholds, and there's one book of the. Okay, and doesn't it give the mage who's the power with the? He's holding it. Why doesn't he? Okay, whatever. So yeah, it's aggressively meh to me. Which I didn't.
mediocre.
It's aggressively mediocre. I didn't even know that was possible, but yeah, that's what this is. So yeah. I blame the studio. But you know what else I blame? You for coming up with this week's poll question. So give it to us, Max.
Yes. What is your favorite cinematic depiction of magic and spells where the magic system and the spells just work? They just seem cool. And you can respond to this by emailing us at maxmikemovies.com or going to our website, maxmikemovies.com, and leaving a comment. Or you can call the super special Death to Bumpy hotline at 617-398-7266. That is 617-398-7266. Cars for Kids. And leave a voicemail for us. And of course, we are on the Book of Vishanti Faces.
Facebook. It's called Facebook. Get it right once.
No. And under Max Mike Movies, and you can find us on the podcast app of your choice. But we are not done giving second chances because we care that much. Maybe we love too much. Maybe we don't laugh at love enough. But Mike,
love to love to love.
Yes, when loving lovers love. Mike, who are we giving another chance to next week?
Well, strange you should ask. See what I did there? Strange. So we're going to look at another sequel, a film that came out that people were very happy with, and I remember liking quite a bit, although I've only seen it once. And it was like, well, if you're going to do more of this, yeah, I'm up for it. The title is very evocative of the entire film. It will tell you exactly all you need to know. Just by saying this movie's title, you'll go, oh, I know what it's about, and totally understand where they're going and what they're trying to do. The film in question is called Glass Onion.
Yes,
which, if you'll remember, is about 2 hours long and has people like Daniel Craig in it, and other people that are not Daniel Craig but are nearby to Daniel Craig at the time
They
when
are
they're acting.
Daniel Craig adjacent.
Yes. So this film being adjacent to Knives Out, its predecessor, also means that the cast is adjacent to Daniel Craig, who is in this film. And that is what I remember about this film, in which I remember being disappointed, but now I'm really not remembering. Isn't Edward Norton in it? I think he is.
Yes, he is.
I think he plays Blofeld.
Anyway, I think he plays Elon Musk, but
oh, that's right. I'm having flashbacks now. So flashback with us next week when we watch Glass Onion.
this has been a co-production of The Voice of Max and The Movie Wrench.